thing we all love to do in the new year. It's leaving those badass habits back in the old year and not bringing them into the new. On today's video, I'm going to tell you guys what bad bioinformatics, bad behaviour I am leaving in 2023. 2023 was a big year of change for me. I left my first ever job at the Sanger Institute. I then got a brand new job in a new field in bioinformatics in London, and I did a bunch of stuff and I learned so much. And I think especially going from one institute to another, it was a really great way of kind of seeing better ways of working, seeing worse ways of working, and figuring out my best way of working. I definitely changed a lot of things when I moved into my new job anyway, but I'm just going to solidify for you right now those bad bioinformatics habits that are staying in 2023. I'm really hoping that 2024 is going to be less chaotic, it's going to be more successful, more fruitful, more growth, more variety of what I'm working on, more structure, more cohesion. It's going to be my year, 2024. I am ready for a good one. So let's crack into today's video. So the first thing I am leaving in 2024 is saying I am not a pipeline person. I used to say this all the friggin' time at my old job because we had two specific teams. So one was kind of more pipeline development bioinformaticians, and then there was another team of genomic data scientists. And actually, I've now come to learn that I did love that dynamic. I loved being the data scientist and not having to build pipelines and being like, I'm not a pipeline person. But when I was hunting for my second job, I realised that most bioinformatics roles need you to build pipelines, and I found it really hard to find jobs that didn't have that as a requirement. And obviously I'm going to need to do this throughout my career. I can't just avoid building pipelines. So that is out of my vocabulary. I'm not building pipelines. I'm not a pipeline person. I am a pipeline person. I'm currently developing a Nextflow pipeline. So gold star to me. And you never would have caught me doing this 2 years ago because I was always like, I'm not touching it. But actually, pipeline development is fun. I've actually been really enjoying learning Nextflow. I am now a pipeline person in 2024. I not only will build my pipelines, I will also then analyze the outputs because, you know, being able to do more is always better. So that is leaving in 2023. And just piece of advice to you guys out there, if you're learning bioinformatics and getting into bioinformatics, really consider learning pipeline stuff. I mean, at a basic note, can you get an NF core pipeline that's an already made lovely community pipeline and run that? Can you just hack together some bash scripts to run different commands through your command line on your local PC or on the cluster? Or can you teach yourself a workflow? What are they called? I've just forgotten the word. Try and learn a workflow manager language. So there's like SnakeMake or Nextflow, but basically these are languages that can wrap up your things into a workflow, and they're just like the best practice ever. So if you're not doing it, do it. And in 2024, I'm a pipeline person. The second bioinformatics bad habit I'm leaving in 2023 is saying I only code in Python. God, I feel like I was such a spoiled data scientist in my old job. I was like, I only work in Python. I'm not building pipelines. Just let me do pretty data science. But yeah, actually, I mainly work in Python. I normally say to people, oh, don't bother learning R. Like, who cares? Don't learn R. Learn Python. Whereas actually, learning Python first is the best because it's used in academia, it's all used in industry. So yeah, and like the syntax is most like human language and it's just the easiest one to learn. So learning Python first and knowing Python is that fundamental language to know. But actually, when you get into the world of work, not even half, like the majority of my new team who do bioinformatics, it's in an academic group. And I've said this before, all academia teachers people is Perl back in the 80s and then R in now. I was like, oh no, I should be able to like work with these packages, but I'm gonna have to go away and like teach myself R now. But like only to like interact with them. I don't need to be a pro at it, but I've always just said, oh, I only do Python, but actually sometimes there isn't the Python package to do the specific task that you need to do. I mean, usually there is. But if there's like a different task someone wants you to do and it's written in R, like you're gonna have to use R at some point. And then also, I was always like, oh, I'm never learning Java. And I'm now having to use Groovy for Nextflow and scripting in QPath, which is like a GUI system for looking at images. And that's based off Java, and I've never learned Java. So actually saying like I only code in Python is ridiculously precious, and I won't be doing it anymore. So going into 2024, I will be more open to using other languages and still promoting Python as the first go-to language to learn, but I will not be saying I only code in Python anymore. And the final thing I'm going to leave in 2023 and not bring it into 2024 is thinking that genomics is the be-all and end-all. I actually put a tweet on Twitter when I first started this channel that was like, what do people think the difference is between genomics and bioinformatics? And I don't even know why I bothered posting that. And I think I was just such in this genomics world that I forgot everything else that exists. So in bioinformatics, it's biology and informatics. It's using the computational tools to get answers out of biological data. Biological data is not just a genome. Like there's so many more data types, and a bioinformatician works with them. So you can be a specialized bioinformatician working with genomes. You can be a specialized bioinformatician working with transcriptomes, like whatever. But what I found in my new job in kind of more traditional academia is people pick up different things. Genomics isn't the be all and end all, and that is my thing I'm leaving in 2023, because I always was just like, oh, I work on genomics, like genomic data science, but there's like so much more to it. And I knew there was, but now I'm in it, I kind of believe it a little bit more. Like, especially I'm working on processing images at the moment. And even then I was like, oh, I'm working on images. But then actually I'm working on images, they've got XY coordinates, that's a cell, that's single cell analysis. All of transcriptomics is now going spatial. I'm working on spatial biology, it's bioinformatics. You can tie that into the genomics and transcriptomic data you've got. Like, it's all just this multimodal mess of information, and the skill of a bioinformatician is to disentangle and then like retangle and make sense of things. And having this closed mindset of genomics, genomic data science, I think it's a shame, because yeah, there's just loads more out there. So leaving that in 2023, and in 2024, the future is multimodal. I am a multi-omic bioinformatician, and that is just the way things are. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. That is my bioinformatics bad behavior I am leaving in 2023. So just to summarize, I am no longer saying I'm not a pipeline person, because building pipelines is an essential component of every bioinformatician's skill set. I'm also not saying that I only code in Python, because I love Python, but there are more things you need to know, like R, SQL, Groovy, Java, blah. And finally, I am not thinking that genomics is the be-all and end-all, because the future is multimodal, my friends, and there is so much more data coming out of biology to be working with. I hope this video has been helpful. I would love to hear what you guys are going to leave in 2023, and I will see you again on another video. Bye!